Hi, everybody. Jake Slebodnick here for your hometown radio stations and Renda Digital TV, coming to you from Tom Uchich Stadium here in Conemaugh Valley for our high school football preview and our preview of the River Valley Panthers today, brought to you by the Indiana Regional Medical Center and IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, voted Best Urgent Care Walk-In Clinic in the Best of Indiana County contest, and by Luther Ford Lincoln, Route 119 in Homer City, Indiana County's Ford experts. Go with a winner. Go with Luther Ford. And joining me here on our preview is third-year head coach of the Panthers, Jess Houser, coming off a little bit of a rocky season, 1-9 overall, 0-9 in Heritage Conference play. A couple things we'll talk with Coach about, but they look to rebound again this year. Coach, we were talking off the air, and one of the things you mentioned, you guys have been busy since earlier this year. You want to give a little bit of an overview of what you guys have been doing to prep for this season?
Yeah, we've been going over in the weight room, obviously, since February, and 2 days optional practices a week since then. And we're just preparing for this year. We got a long way to climb back up the mountain. Like you said, after going 1-9 last year, we're at the bottom. We just got to start our steps and go up the mountain already.
Looking at the record and talking about last season, I'm going to try to keep this quick on last year, but how does a team that encountered a season like yours sort of rebound the following year from that?
These kids last year, we were young. We only had 7 seniors last year. Brad Miller was a big senior we lost, an offensive tackle and defensive tackle. Like I said, these kids are young and hungry, and they don't want to have another season like that.
One of the things you mentioned was the absence now of Brad Miller, one of the key impact players featured in the Ken Lancey game, and then Cole Kennedy-Citrone, just a couple of the seniors you guys lost this year. So can you tell me a little bit, what's the overall landscape of the offensive and defensive line now that those guys are gone, and who are you looking at to fill those gaps?
We're offense, we got 2 spots to fill, a center and the right tackle, and we're looking for Don Bartolini to move over to right tackle and Tash Hawkins to fill in the left tackle and Noah Ripple. And on defense, we just have somebody to be a playmaker, whether it's a smaller guy or a bigger guy. We just need somebody out there to make plays.
Looking back on last year's team coming into this year, what are some of the strengths and what are some of the weaknesses of the Panthers?
Strengths, we got everybody back. Like I said, other than a couple of players, we should be good to go this year with all those guys. They have more experience, game experience, and the weaknesses is, like I said, filling in for Brad in our center. We got to find 2 guys that can block up front and get the ball rolling.
Last year was the first year under center for Luke Woodring, and for what it's worth, he did a really good job under center, really grew over the course of the season. I remember that was one of the things that we always talked about was just how he's grown week after week. How are you feeling on Luke's performance last year after having a full season under his belt under center?
I mean, I think Luke did great last year. He was on the run a lot last year, and this year I think he'll be a lot better. I mean, he's been putting the time with the film studying in the weight room, and he's ready to go.
Another one that has really grown over the course of last season, despite being flagged by injury, Sam Yanitz. And I remember we talked about him week in and week out. Last game of the season, a 3-touchdown performance, and he's only in his sophomore campaign, and he's ready to go this year. I actually met him in person over the summer, and very bright kid, multi-talented, multi-sport talented athlete, and he's ready for the football season. Can you talk about how he grew over the course of the season?
Sam, yeah, he's been putting the work in the weight room too every day, and he's getting bigger and faster. And he has that breakaway speed, which is nice to have. He can hit the home run at any time, and we're looking forward to see what he can do this year.
Another area that I think a lot of people would say would need tightened up this year is ball control. Last year we saw a lot of turnovers, untimely turnovers as well. You guys did a great job in most games getting down the field, and then there was just that costly turnover. How are you guys looking to control that this year?
This year is just ball security. I mean, we're working on holding the ball, trying to strip the ball at practice off the running backs, and they're holding on to it well. We just got ball security and start playing the second half football.
Going off the field, or at least to a different field, one of the biggest stories this offseason is the change of home games for River Valley this year. The River Valley School Board a couple months ago voted to hold home games at the Salzburg field. And, Coach, one of the things that I noticed was that a lot of players showed up in support about it. Luke and Gavin Burkhart were the big voices of that movement. Let me just start by asking, what's your overall reaction to the home games being moved to Salzburg?
I was all for it. I mean, I didn't want to practice to play on the same field. I didn't feel it was safe for the kids. You know, you get out there pushing a 7-man sled around and you make all those ruts and you try to play Friday night, it just ain't safe. We have the option in our school district to have 2 fields, so we decided to play down Salzburg.
Again, we talk about the leadership from Luke and then Gavin to really just go up there. You know, I don't know how they were feeling internally, but that's a big leap of courage for them to go up in front of the school board, in front of a lot of supporters for the school district and say, hey, we're concerned about our safety. We want to play there. Talk about how important it is to see them go up and share their opinions on behalf of the team.
Oh, they're just showing their leadership ability. They felt that it was unsafe to play there too, and they wanted to play down there. They're just, like I said, showing their leadership ability, and those 2 will be ready to go this year.
Another one of the big things that I want to talk about, you brought Luke, you brought Dom Bartolini, and you brought Dom Spiel, the receiving core. That took a big step last year. We saw a lot of younger guys get some reps, and Spiel led the way. Talk about the receiving core, some of the benefits from them.
Dom Spiel, he's an athlete in basketball, football, and baseball. I mean, he's an all-around athlete. He's leading that receiving core, and we'll have Sammy Yanitz out there once in a while. We should be very strong with our receiving core, a lot of speed.
Are there any underdogs or sleeper players on this team last year that we should really keep our eye out on?
We got a new kid this year, Sam Ewing. He came over. He was a hockey player. He'll be a junior. He's very fast, and he's a hitter, so we're going to keep an eye on him.
How'd you convince him to come out to play?
These kids did. Luke and those guys did. I mean, they talked him in. They're all friends and told him to come out and try for a year, and he's all excited. He looks really good on the field.
Great stuff, great stuff. Now you open the season against Conemaugh Township at home, a newcomer to the league. Second straight either you guys are open the season against a newcomer. Last year you did against Portage, and this year you're doing against Conemaugh Township. Going back to last year, what are some of the challenges in facing somebody who's new to the conference?
Like I said, they're coming in. We don't know much about them. We have a film on them from 2 years ago, so I'm trying to get some more film on them. But they're going to come in hungry into the new conference, try to make a statement right off the bat, so we're going to be ready to play that first week.
Coach, thanks so much. Can't wait to start the season.
I'm excited for it, too.
Coach Jess Houser of the River Valley Panthers, our Panther preview brought to you by IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, voted Best Urgent Care and Walk-In Clinic in the Best of Indiana County contest, and by Luther Ford Route 119 in Homer City. Go with a winner, go with Ford. You can catch the Panthers all season long on Cat Country 106.3 FM and catcountry1063fm.com. Myself and Chuck Clark will be on the call every week to cover the Panthers, and we can't wait to see when the season starts. August 25th, we'll see you at Salzburg. Jake Slebodnick for Renda Digital TV.